At the moment of recording this, there's currently a bug happening in Theater of Pain. And I'm not exactly sure how it originated because I did this key on Tuesday, I'm pretty sure Wednesday as well. Then I played golf on Thursday, come back and see all these messages from different people about a bug in Theater of Pain and how it ruined their key. That was the big thing that really shocked me. They're like, "Oh my god, the key is ruined now because of this bug." But this is not actually a bug that should ruin your key. And obviously, if you're the first person to ever have it happen to you, you have no idea that might happen. Then yeah, I mean, sure, it could ruin your key. But at this point, if it's going to be in the game and we know it's going to be in the game, this is something that you should plan around, and it's very easily solved. So I'm going to show you what it is first, and then I'm going to give you two routes that are going to be in the description there that allow you to salvage the key, quote unquote. Maybe even three actually, but anyway, the problem seems to be here is that these mini bosses don't properly engage. I'm not exactly sure how or why this is happening. Again, because it seems to have come out of nowhere without any actual changes to the dungeon occurring. But I think Faxley said that it happened during the MDI and it caused them to reset the game or something last week or 2 weeks, whenever it was. But yeah, they fight, and when you get close to them, one's supposed to die and the other one's supposed to become attackable, and that's just not happening right now. So I have two things of footage here. We're going to show it. So here is the first one where this bugs. You see, at this point, it should be attackable. I'm not exactly sure. Like, you don't realize things are bugged until things get a little abnormal. So I'm not exactly sure how many seconds it's supposed to be in between that first one dying and the second one being attackable, but it's more than it should be. Like the fact that it's still not attackable. So what we do in this key is I just move on. We're just going to move on, and I'm assuming that that's it for that. We're not going to come back to it. But then randomly, it's there, attackable. So this has happened to me now, and I assume I've heard other people say that it's happened to them. So I assume they're not lying about it. Sometimes it just takes a few seconds on the second one. Okay. The problem is then the third one. So let's see. So we just go back and get that one. Not a problem. But let's move on to the other footage. The other footage I have, it doesn't ever come back. So we're gonna move down here, and this one, Heaving the Breaker, this time is gonna win. I was thinking maybe it has something to do with which one wins too. So just keep that in mind. If you want to comment on that down below, maybe that's a good idea. Like if you see Heaving the Breaker win, does he ever come back? Or do you see the other one win and it does come back? Maybe that's why that's happening in the first place.
The side packs and
but yeah, again, we just move on from the pack, and we are going to then see the same. So to see the same thing happen here, Advent Nevermore or whatever, they're just gonna die. The one is gonna die, and it's just never gonna spawn. So you can actually look back and see that the second one, as you see there, is still not attackable. So this one's not attackable either. So that puts us down.
We're gonna need a lot of trash.
Maybe just give like 7.5% now, or something like 7.3 or something like that. So that puts us down a sizable number. So yeah, if you come here last, obviously your key is ruined. Okay. I think that's what a lot of people are doing, and that's why it caused so many frustrations for people. So I had originally been going either this wing or the platform wing, whatever, the Kulturok wing, depending on which lieutenant was available. Okay, so this wing is the one with Sogadon, so it's not not a super high priority one. So you might do this one second or last, and then that would leave you in that position. But there's actually a lot of count in the Kulturok area, so I'm going to show you that today. Let's take a look at this, because I think a lot of people probably don't realize how much count there is. In fact, if you want to take a look, go and look at how much count there is in this area. You'll be actually shocked. If you got 100% of this count, that's like, yeah, it's like 50% of the dungeon. You'd basically be able to skip a whole wing if you did that. So anyway, I have 3 routes here because I feel like I need them. So this is going to be with 1 lieutenant skip. This is going to be with 2 lieutenant skips, and I also made one for the I haven't seen this yet, but if a 3rd lieutenant gets skipped, you could also potentially use this route. The main thing here is just getting extra trash in this area, in the Kulturok area. So there's something like just getting an extra mob or 2. Going left instead of right or something like that. You'd be surprised at how much it sways your count. So you can take a look at the route yourself if you need it. Skipping 1 is like I'm going to tell you this right now. It's not like, not only is it not an issue, but like I actually have groups that are trying to get me to do it. And I don't know how you do it when they're not bugged. But on Tuesday, the first key I did, or the first key I was going to do, was the group was like, oh no, we're skipping one of the lieutenants. It's like, I don't know how to do that. So I'll just leave the group because I'm not interested in trying to do all that. So, but now that I have these routes, now I know how to do it. So it's pretty good. This, if you skip two, things get a little bit more clustered. You have to deal with things a little bit more. You need a lot more. But the one thing I will say is, like, this is all assuming that we're skipping this pack. Okay, so if you have two, so like if you have one, yeah, sure, still skip that pack, as you see. But if you have two, then just kill the pack, and don't skip it or not skip it because you think it's gonna be bugged. Just wait to deal with it later in the dungeon. Just do this last if you have to. It's not that time inefficient. Now, if you're doing three, if you're skipping all three of those, then you have to do some really funny things, which I actually saw Jix do a while ago, and I thought, like, that's interesting. So you could actually go and do both platforms, and that's what I was talking about before, basically. So you take this, put it in the left, go here, and then instead of taking the portal here that would go over here, you take the portal backwards, take the thing out of the slot, and then put it in the other slot, and then go right. So you could actually do that. I mean, I've never tried it, but I assume you can do that on both platforms and literally just kill every mob in here. So just main story, and long story short, do this wing last. That's all you got to do, okay? Because no matter what happens in the dungeon, you'll always be able to get enough count here. You actually see we go over count, and that's because I can't find a way to not need this pack. I mean, unless you skip one of these or something. That's the same count, so. This is just what I've seen, and hopefully it helps. Now, I made this video. This is on a Sunday. The fact that it came out, the bug was introduced on a Thursday and wasn't fixed before the weekend, makes me think that we are in for a long haul here, or that this might be a returning issue. This is the kind of thing that makes me a little nervous in this game. It always makes me think we're going to see this a second time at some point. So just keep this in mind, that it's like this, and yeah, just make sure you do not do that wing last. Do not do that military wing last, because if you do, you're potentially inviting a depleted key. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps. We'll see you in the next one.